petty revenge, living rent-free in my estranged aunt's head. So for some reason, my paternal Aunt A has always hated me. I only became aware of this when, after my dad let her know I got into her alma mater for university, she called me to tell me I wasn't material and was apparently furious when I went anyway. Needless to say, this phone call pretty much destroyed what little respect I had for her at that point, which wasn't much since she had essentially estranged herself. The best I can tell is that she's had an issue, in part because we share first names, but different spellings, and she hates her first name, so goes by her middle. But she's also super classist and thinks she's classy for marrying into money. And since my family wasn't her brand of wealthy, we were embarrassments. She preferred to pretend we didn't exist, hence the estrangement. There's a lot of ugly stuff she pulled, really hurting my dad. Dad was of the silent generation and was likely undiagnosed autistic in the socially awkward, obsessed with trains way. She made it clear she was embarrassed by him. So when he died, I referred to her in the obituary as his estranged sister, first name, middle name, knowing full well that spouses are supposed to go in parentheses. The only reason I called her to let her know he'd passed was so she'd be reminded of her own impending mortality. At first, I didn't think she even bothered to read the obit, but I learned how obsessed she is with me later. It's still on the internet, so that might be why she hates me now. I mostly don't think about her, but my eldest cousin went NC with her about a year ago, and I learned something from her that was pretty hilarious. My aunt is so obsessed with me that she hacks my cousin's Facebook accounts, since she knows their security questions, just so she can read my posts and have something to complain about regarding my indiscretions and embarrassing behavior. Literally, I'm queer and struggle with mental health and don't hide either. That's it. She used to call my cousin randomly to talk about how awful I am. Not because I said anything to her mind, but because I exist. Ever since learning this, I occasionally fashion FB posts that will give her the vapors on purpose because it's amusing. Mostly I don't think about her at all because she's not worth the effort, but sometimes it gives me a good giggle to know I'm getting revenge just by existing, to the point where she basically e-stalks me just to have something to complain about.
You/Goma93.
A life well lived is the best revenge.
Exactly.
A life indulging in occasional totally deniable petty acts of spite comes a close second, though.
You/DK42.
Oh wow. While I don't have an aunt like that, my wife's aunt cut all ties with my father-in-law when their mom passed. She married into money, her husband being a CF. From what I understand, when her mom was still lucid, she rewrote the will so that her son would get the bulk of the money and the house, since she felt that the aunt, had plenty of money from her husband. My father-in-law, not being good at communicating things, didn't tell her this until after she passed, and she never spoke to him again after the funeral. She kind of sucked anyways. She came to our house to visit and asked my wife about the welcome mat, asking, "Who are the Muslims that live here?" Our last name is actually German, and I'm Hispanic, long story. And not only that, she thought the thing said shalom anyways. She's apparently pulled all sorts of stupid shit like that in her life. When my mother-in-law died, she sent her son along with a gift card. She sent nothing when my father-in-law died. That was a couple of years ago. She'll have to live with that for the rest of her life.
OP.
Oh, she sounds like the exact breed of classless new rich as my aunt, complete with casual racism. She also married into money. Yeah, my aunt said she'd send a card when I let her know Dad passed. She didn't, of course.
Well, this was a bit of a shorter one. Nevertheless, satisfying. I hope you all enjoyed this story. And again, I'm always open to criticism. Anything you guys can tell me will help. Let me know what you guys thought of the story in the description. And share any stories you guys might have as well. The link to the original post, as always, will be in the description. And make sure to follow for new videos every day.